Hello everyone, Onlydraven here again, and today we're going to be doing another tutorial in Minecraft Sky Factory 3. Today we're going to be doing just the introduction to Draconic Fusion. This mod is a little bit more advanced. It's a little bit something later in the game. By the point you get to Draconic Fusion, you will have had to have already gone to fight the Ender Dragon. You're going to need nether stars, as well as you're going to need draconium. So just some resources. I mean, it's not impossible to get some of those things without having to have fought the dragon, but draconium itself is one of the later game materials you're going to need in order to make this work. So to start off, we're going to just kind of start with the basics. One of the basic building blocks is a draconic core. Draconic cores are made from a piece of diamond, 4 gold ingots, and 4 draconium ingots. You're going to end up needing a lot of these guys over time, but we'll need a few of those to start off with. You're also going to need to make a basic fusion crafting injector. So this is the level 1 fusion crafting injector. This is what you start with. And that is a block of iron, 5 pieces of stone, 1 of the draconic cores we've already made, and 2 pieces of diamond. All right. Next, you're going to need a fusion crafting core. You're really only going to need 1 of these, and that is another one of our draconic cores with 4 pieces of diamond and 4 blocks of lapis. Now to move forward, after we get our basic setup, we're also going to move to the second level of cores, which is the wyvern core. Now, wyvern core is when things start getting a little bit more advanced, because we need a nether star, 4 draconic cores, and 4 draconium ingots. Now, we're going to need that for the first thing we do fusion. So, right off the bat, you're going to also need a power source. For this tutorial, we're going to be using an extreme reactor from the Extreme Reactors mod. If you're unfamiliar with how to build or use the extreme reactor, I do have a tutorial for that on my channel as well, and I will link it on the end card of this video. I've got a hard line power running through Ender conduits over here to our little work area. As you can see, power sources just pop up right there. All right, so to get started, we're going to need some more energy conduits. We're going to need the fusion crafting injectors and the crafting core. Then we'll grab ourselves some wood. So, basic design. All right, we're going to have to supply power to each of the cores that we're doing. So making a little cross there is kind of what we're shooting for. Next, we're going to put down these guys right there. All right. Now, they've spaced them apart specifically, so there's a space for 1 in the middle. See? And that is where we're going to put our crafting core. Okay? So this is the overall basic setup to get going. 4 on one side, 4 on the other, with a space, crafting core, space in between, with each one of our outer injectors having power running to them. All right. So now that we've done that, I'm going to kind of go over the basics of how fusion crafting works. So if we go over here to our crafting core and we right-click on it, we're going to be able to click on R to see the different recipes and things that you can form. Now, up here on the right-hand side, as you can see there, I've already done a search for fusion. All right, the Draconic Evolution is the mod that we're using. See, there's the basic, then there's the wyvern fusion crafting injector, draconic fusion and crafting injector, and chaotic fusion crafting injectors. And you're going to level each one's kind of up to the next level to be able to do the more advanced. Now, here in the recipes, the top is what you're going to put in the center, inside of this fusion crafting core. All right, that's what this is here at the top for the different recipes, and you can scroll through them. The items on the left-hand side need to be placed on the crafting injector on one side, and the items on the right will go inside the injectors on the other side. All right. So depending on what you're trying to make, what you're trying to fusion craft, if you will, it's going to depend on what the recipes are going to be. And on each side, it's going to be Sometimes multiple. If it shows 2 of the same thing, it means each one of the injectors on that side needs to have 1 in it. So to kind of show this, I'm going to show how to turn a basic fusion crafting injector into a wyvern fusion and crafting injector. So for the recipes for this, we're going to need some components that I've already kind of set out for us here. These are very common ingredients. We're going to start with those here. All right. So on the right-hand side, again, we'll go ahead and, all right. Say if we go through and we find this recipe, you can dig through it there, or you can just click up here and it'll show you right to it. So the recipe there for fusion is our wyvern core, 2 draconic cores, a draconium block, and on the other side, 4 pieces of diamond. And in the center, we're going to put 1 basic fusion crafting injector. So really, you're going to need 9 of those, 4 on each side plus a spare one. So let's go ahead and pop those on. As you can see, you're just going to right-click the item, and it attaches to the front of the injectors. On the other side, we're going to go there, 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 and there. So all of those are loaded. Lastly, we're going to go ahead and we're going to need to put our basic fusion crafting injector, our spare one, in the center. Now, as soon as I did that, you can see that it shows everything from the recipe has been fulfilled. And all I have to do is click Start to begin fusion crafting. Now, fusion crafting takes a lot of RF. So if you're trying to run multiple different RF components while you're doing this, it's going to draw a lot of power out, either making the fusion crafting go very slowly, or it's going to make everything else kind of shut down until it's done. Usually a little combination of both. So if you can, you have the materials, a second reactor or second RF source to run your fusion crafting is highly recommended, unless you've just got a huge reactor build. So this is the only thing I'm running off of this right now, so it should go pretty quickly. So you just click Start. As you can see, the percentage is shooting up. It's actually a pretty cool visual here. So I'm not going to just watch it. I mean, 62%. You're going to notice that the center is going to start spinning a little bit faster. There we go. So we're hitting 100. I'm just going to kind of give it a minute, let it finish so you can see the whole process. It's one of my favorite animations in the different mods that I use is really this one. It's just kind of fun to watch. Bam! And there we go. So you just right-click on that, take it off, and you have yourself a wyvern fusion crafter. So at that point, normally, you would just go ahead and break one of these, replace it with the new wyvern one, and then the one that you broke is the next one that you can upgrade. Now, you can use a higher level injector to do a basic recipe. So you can slowly replace them one at a time. If I pop that out and stick this guy in there, that still counts as a basic one for the same recipe we just did. We could do the exact same thing again, and it would be perfectly fine. And then once you've got 9 of those made, then you're ready to move on to your next step, which is the Draconic, which, as you can see, has some more advanced steps. But we'll get into a little bit more of building weapons and armor and some of the other things we can do with Draconic Evolution in a later video. I just wanted to kind of give just a brief tutorial showing how to start the process for layout and then how to run just a basic crafting. Okay? And again, I definitely recommend just going through the different recipes, seeing what you can do, what you can build. There's a lot of great weapons and armor. Some of the strongest in the game come through this, but again, you're going to need a lot of nether stars and draconium, as well as some other components to get this put together. So, all right. So with that being said, kind of gone over, like I said, the basics. That'll get you started on the process. It's really self-explanatory from there, but I will go into a little bit more detail in a future video. If you have any questions about fusion crafting or just anything about the video at all, please feel free to put them down in the comments. If you like the video, please click like, and be sure to click subscribe and ring the little bell icon to be able to get any notifications for when I post up any future videos. That way you can see all my content as they come out. If you have any recommendations for other videos you'd like to see, please be sure to put them down in the comments as well. Always looking for more ideas to help other players out. So, thank you again very much for watching. I hope you all have a good day.